Hey guys, it's Allison and welcome to TOC Talk. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, we have so much to talk about. We may have a little surprise or two. Who knows, you guys? Who just knows what's going to happen today? But as you know, we get in our pajamas and we talk about one of our favorite shows, which is Food Network's Tournament of Champions. I can't wait. Hello. Hey everybody. Okay, if you want to go ahead and request to join. All right, we have quite a show for you today. I'm going to be honest. I'm very, very excited. I don't know if you guys saw last week's episode. Oh my gosh, it was a doozy. A total doozy. Okay, let's see if this worked. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, I did one. Oh, wait. Oh, no. You want to try
Did
again?
we
Hey,
lose
Michelle,
Michelle?
can you try again? Yeah, I don't know what
We
happened.
lost Michelle. Oh no.
We lost Michelle. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's so weird. Michelle, could you request to join again? I don't know. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I last week, I don't even know if I want to talk about it. Guess what, guys? My dream team is no more. But you know what? We put up an effort, and I am so
You
proud. I
did.
am
You
so
did.
proud of my dream team.
Credit where
How,
credit's due. You picked fighters.
I think so. I think so. Well, okay, what about you? How is your dream team hanging on?
Dream team is standing tall.
How are you on? You had everyone picked. Oh, it says ForkTravel is unable to join. Michelle, you might have to join on that other account if you can join on this one. Okay, your dream team is standing tall. Your bracket
I
was
have
looking pretty good.
I have only missed one round one so far.
Which one was it? You'll have to remind me.
I believe. Oh, let me let the paper back. Hang on. Grab all my stacks, and I believe it was. No, I got them. Got that one.
Because I know
No,
you were
that was
pretty good. I
that.
think you were like, okay,
Yeah, it was. Oh, Dan Jacobs, Sarah Bradley.
okay, Dan
I, I
Jacobs.
had I
That's
had
so
Chef
weird.
Sarah, and she ended up losing that round.
Okay, well, it just said you requested me. I don't know what's going on with this. Okay, Michelle, do you want to try again? If not, go on. Can you go on your husband's account? Maybe that'll do it. I don't know. That's so weird. Okay, you said Sarah Bradley was the only one you
Yeah,
got
she
wrong.
she was the. I had her picked. I really thought she had it. I will say, and
Yeah.
Marissa will validate because I felt like a whole bracket at the very start of like this. These are all my predictions.
Right.
But when I'm wrong on a bracket, I always feel like it's never fun to then say like, okay, well that whole arm of the bracket is dead. So I keep a running tally of like, okay, if I'm wrong, who do I think is going to win the next round, kind of thing. And I
Right.
was pleasantly surprised because that one I
Yeah.
have a page for every single battle here, and where is the Sarah brother?
We have a
There it is.
special guest, you guys. Michelle will be joining us in a second. I feel like this is the big reveal. I
The
don't know what's
big
going on.
reveal.
I don't know what is going on with live today. My goodness. Well, guys, it's going to be a big surprise in a second. Hopefully. I don't know what's going
Guys,
on.
it's so weird.
Okay, let's see here. I might have to start it again. Let's see. Justin, I don't know what's going on. Hello, everybody. Okay. Oh, here's it. Let's see if this works. Okay.
I just see a spinning wheel for him right now.
I see a spinning wheel, but you know what? It's always about technical difficulties here. Okay, wait.
Oh, now
We have a
we got
spinning
Michelle. We
wheel.
got
We
Michelle.
got
Okay.
Michelle.
Sorry, I'm on my personal one. I don't know what happened, but it dumped me, locked me out of my ForkTravel, so I'm
Yeah.
here from mine. So,
No fork, no
What?
travel.
well, I always have a fork and travel. You see my
Yeah.
tattoo, but technical
Yeah.
issues on a Monday. It's something to be seen.
And obviously, our special guest is having, I think that's the spinning wheel of death. I think he might have to unjoin and then rejoin. It always happens like that, especially when we get excited. But okay, Michelle, how are you doing?
Doing good. Just got back from a 4-day anthropology conference. Had fun. Ate some good
That's
food.
exciting.
There you
It was
go.
nice in SoCal. Got back last night. Worked
Okay.
today because faculty teachers are away from campus this week on spring
Oh,
break, and
Spring break.
and people
yeah.
like me, the staff, are always working. So
Oh my gosh. Well, I am glad that you had a little bit of a break. My goodness. Okay, while we're waiting for our special guest, I am so excited. Okay, we have so much to talk about. I did okay, yeah, he's gonna hopefully come back in.
you may have
We
to
have
restart it. If you can't
yeah.
get back in, you have to restart it.
I mean, this is just one of those things, but
It's
I
Monday.
do. It is a Monday, but you guys, okay, while we kind of wait for our special guest, I want to read some of his accolades just to kind of tease about what's going on. Okay, so this person won the 8th season of Food Network Star, which is a show that I think we all loved. You know, it was such a fun show. He wrote a book, a cookbook, you guys. It's called The Laws of Cooking and How to Break Them in 2015. Okay. And he goes, well, hey, it wouldn't be life if Justin didn't have a dramatic entrance. Absolutely.
True. Very true.
You know, I get it. I get it. Okay. He is the host of Eat the Universe at Marvel.com. He
I
won a
have
mission.
that.
Oh, have you watched it?
It's a cookbook.
It's a very good
I
cookbook.
I thought it was on Marvel.com. It was. Oh, is it a blog?
It's a cookbook.
It's an officially licensed cookbook for the Marvel Universe.
Oh my god, okay. Well, it said host on Wikipedia. Host.
Well, okay. So if you can't get back
Yeah.
on right now, we may have to restart it.
Yeah.
Do you want to restart it?
Yeah, tell me to give us like 30 seconds and come back.
Oh, he's saying it's both.
Okay.
He's in the
Justin,
chat.
let's
He's in
try.
the chat.
Let's try again. If not, I can restart it and everyone can come back in. Okay. Let me see if I can invite him. You never know. You never know.
We're learning new things.
We did it!
Hey, we did
Hey,
it.
we see a table.
Well, I see a cabinet.
Yeah,
There he
we
is.
did it.
Hey.
Listen,
What's
how
up,
are
fam?
you?
What's up?
How are
How's
you?
it
It's such
going?
an honor to have you on here.
No,
Okay.
thanks.
Okay. First of all, so wait, it's a both. It's a host of Eat the Universe. You said it's a book and a show.
Yeah, so it was like a normal food show, except centered around the Marvel universe, that was housed on YouTube and Marvel.com. I think it still is.
Okay.
But we made something like, I don't know, 50 plus episodes of it. And they were
That's
like, you know what?
amazing.
We have all these recipes. We shot the whole thing in 4K, so we can just grab stills from it. We should just make a cookbook. And
Yeah.
so it is both a show and cookbook. And the cookbook also has some little, I don't know, little graphical cues to let you know that the videos are, look at
Oh,
this.
stop. Okay, now I have to go buy it. Okay,
So-
everyone, let's put this in our
Justin
card.
actually signed mine about 2 years ago. He was very
Ah.
gracious about it because I just have it sent to him. I was going to try and dig it out, but I got home from work about 10 minutes before this.
Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Okay. Well, first I want to do a really quick introduction, obviously. And first of all, hey guys, we have a special guest. Absolutely no spoilers. Don't ask for spoilers. We follow the rules here.
Nope.
NDAs are important. We don't want to get kicked off. We don't want to make Food Network mad. So absolutely no spoilers, please and thank you. Okay. Hi guys. Well, this is TOC Pajama Talk. We have a very incredible special guest. This is Chef Justin Warner. Obviously, we see him every week on our television. He is one of the commentators on TOC. I already read your accolades. I just like to do it one more time, just for our newer viewers. You won the 8th season of Food Network Star. You wrote the Laws of Cooking, and How to Break Them in 2015. You won a Michelin Beer Gourmand. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah, Bib Gourmand, yeah.
Bib Gourmand, which is
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. And so I'm obviously a little bit newer to cooking. So I looked that up and it highlights restaurants offering exceptionally good food at moderate prices, which is, I mean, especially we have huge families here. So that's incredibly important. You host Eat the Universe, which you said is also a show and also a book you can buy. And we're just so honored to have you on here. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Obviously, you're a
thank
chef
you.
extraordinaire. Oh my God. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure, guys. Thanks so much for having me and, for supporting TOC. It's the
Always.
highlight of my career, Seriously, it's like the coolest thing I could ever possibly do, I think, really.
Well, this is actually incredible. I know that we have some questions we wanted to ask you, but really quick, for just a really quick introduction to us, just in case you guys don't know, or some of these newer viewers don't know who we are. My name is Allison, and I won season 15 of The Worst Cooks in America. I was on the Rock and Red Stars under Chef Ann Burrell, and but the other chef was Chef Tyler Florence. It was the most incredible. Like you said, it was the highlight of your career being on TOC. Well, Worst Cooks in America was that for me. And during the show, I would come on live, and I have 4 children, so I was always in my pajamas, and so I would talk about the show, and that's where I met Matt, who is a chemistry professor. Please correct me, you're in Pennsylvania?
Johnstown, Pennsylvania, yes.
Johnstown, Pennsylvania. So he, he is a home cook. He has a wonderful wife. They really introduced me to food. And so we kind of started talking in our lives. And then that's where we saw Michele. She did these amazing bingo cards, and you got to give flowers where flowers are due. We were like, we're obsessed.
Totally.
We brought her on to Pajama Talk. So again, hence the pajamas. But again, thank you so much for joining us.
Well,
Hell
they're
yeah.
the
Yeah.
unofficial worst cooks in America bingo card. So unofficial is included.
Unofficial.
Unofficial.
But yeah, we're just again. So I just I don't want to waste any of your time because we have so many questions. But first of all, I just kind of wanted to start. One of the things that we actually geek out about on this show is your note taking ability. It is something that we've talked about pretty much every week. And obviously, we don't have to, if it's too personal and you don't want to reveal all of your secrets, we're totally okay with that. But we see that you use 4 different kinds of cards and the colors. Is there like a method to the madness? Is it something that we at home could emulate, or is it something that your brain processes and this is like, it makes sense to you and no one else?
It's crazy. And also, by the way, you can relax. Like, you have me for as long as you need.
Okay.
And you don't have to worry about like taking my time. Everything is still and cool, and I'm super happy to be a part of this. Anyway, note taking. So generally, I have a clipboard. I think I loaned out my last TOC clipboard to a staff member because I have 8 of them now. So. I don't know where the deck. There's one right there.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, a TOC clipboard. This is
official.
got to be from one of the earlier seasons because I don't know. I can just tell, and also with the wear, like I feel like their printing of stickers got better.
Yeah.
So anyway, I have my clipboard. Generally on the clipboard, I have a bunch of like scrap. Well, not scrap, but just like printer paper.
Okay.
And some of that has what I call long-term notes, which is like, stuff about chefs that maybe I don't care to remember. So, for example, like how many Michelin stars or accolades or yada, yada, that they've had. And like, also, if I just like need a refresher, it's cool to not have to like dig through my phone for that. Yeah. But the other thing is it also gives me a little cushion to write on, having all that paper underneath my Post-it notes. And so my Post-it notes, and 3M does not pay me to say that, my Post-it notes are indeed color-coded according to the randomizer. And so when I want to say it was within the first 2 episodes way back when with Simon, and just trying to write on blank paper, I was like, this is hard because I don't have a system yet, right? And so red is always protein, green is always produce.
Okay.
And
so sorry. I'll watch the
it's all good. And then the blue is generally equipment, and then yellow is generally style. And then every now and then you'll see a 5th one, and that's for when there's like a whammy ingredient or something they have to use. So in general, what I do is I'm a very like visual note taker, and so by color coding those, it shaves a millisecond off of where did I put that note. Well, everything pertaining to the protein is in this protein Post-it. The reason then I use the big 4-color pen, and they do pay me to say that.
I got lots of hearts with that, by the way.
Only in pens. Is that if you'll look, they have red, blue, green as well. And so then let's just say that, somebody has to use, I don't know, a produce, let's just call it carrots, right? And let's just say they use it to make mirepoix to do something with the protein. Okay, now I have a cross utilization. I can easily then on my red thing write carrots and green and know that like, hey, you might need to pick this thread up. And then in terms of how I actually observe all of that stuff and take all the notes, man, I don't know. Sometimes I think it's more of a flaw than a feature. Is just I'm neurotic about stuff, and I don't know. I always wanted to maybe be a reporter growing up, and there's just something about being able to take notes quickly and just get the information that you need to recall, and nothing more, nothing less, and get it done.
I appreciate that more. This has been a topic of debate. I think that they'll both say for many,
We've been going back about
now.
this for years. Since TOC 1 or 2, we're like, what's the secret to all the notes? Because I got a 2-column system of what do I see, what's worth talking about in Pajama Talk, have a break, and then what do the judges say?
But right, and
Yeah.
before I get to, I didn't mean to interrupt, but before I get to that, Monkey Hoovian 14 says, "Do you use shorthand?" And that's a really good question. Do you? I don't know.
No, just normal shorthand. So chicken is CHIX. When I say normal, I mean kitchen shorthand. Olive oil is EVOO. S&P. But like, if I'm taking a note on salt and pepper, there's probably not much going on in in that arena.
All right.
But
Like the ocean.
little things like that are important. The choice of using olive oil versus vegetable oil when cooking. That imparts flavor. And while I might not talk to the judges about that specifically, I always like to have what I call the tail of the tape. I picked that up from Mr. Fietti himself, so that I can go back and give them information if they ask. But my style as a reporter is what I call let the mystery be. I don't like telling the judges anything more than what is on the rubric, right? Like what is required from the randomizer. If I think that there's a flourish or an embellishment that is particularly nice, I will mention it. But other than that, man, I don't talk about, the this, that, and the other in every single detail. I'd rather them ask and be pleasantly surprised than point something out and, say fennel and someone's like, fennel was the wrong choice. Well, maybe you wouldn't have tasted fennel or detected fennel had I not said it, right? So I just always try and let them ask questions if they want, and that's that.
Okay, we want they're wanting a cook-off between Chef Tiffany Faison, excuse me, and you. That would be amazing. Bucko, did you want to ask, or Matt, did you want to ask the question?
I had it's a great kind of follow-up to that with whenever we watch and you're describing the dishes, do the chefs have any input to what you say? Because we see things like in Alex versus America or other Food Network shows is the chefs will write a card that somebody will read, like, this is what they're presenting. And it sounds like you just design what you're saying to order, essentially, instead of without any input from them.
Well, it's a little collaborative. The problem is I have about 45 seconds after, 3, 2, 1, or start. 3, 2, 1, 0, da-da-da. I have about 45 seconds to chat with them before we have to reset everything and move along. And by now, most people trust me enough, that only person other than Guy who's been in every battle, right? So most people trust me enough to know what's what. But, when you're in that zone as a chef and you've just cooked for your life, right, you're spun and you're like spinning and you're going 3,000 miles an hour and you can't. It's hard to just put the brakes on that energy. And so what I do is I say to them, chef, step into my office. I'm going to tell you exactly what you did because I know what you did, and I want you to know that I know what you did. But before we do that, I've drawn a small box, and the box is, I don't know, maybe less than 3 by 5. Like the size of a beer coaster. I'm just staring at one right now. And they say, I need to know what this dish is called. Not what's in it, not what, but if I'm saying the special of the night is blank, I need to know that. And so they'll say, it is this, with this, and this. And then I'll say, okay, chef, stop. Now, I'm going to tell you everything that you did. And then generally they're being hurried off, to make their exit. And then from there, I always keep a black Sharpie with me as well. They don't pay me. But the black Sharpie, I go through and then I'll bullet point each thing that I know is going to be an asset to the chef for me to hit. So, every cross utilization, every various thing. What a lot of people don't realize though is we get one take on that dish description. So when you see me up there, that's they might chop it up in terms of putting my words in a certain order or something like that. But there's no do-over on that. And it's just because Tiffany and I and, you know, Simon before us didn't need it. You know, and that's not from a prompter or anything. That's off the dome.
Man, that is incredible.
That's impressive. Yeah.
Thanks. Well, I was a waiter, you know, for a really long time. So
Okay.
I would say like I'm better at talking about food than I am about cooking it.
See, we can totally hang out because I used to do tables too.
Were you a waitress as well?
Yes, I was.
Oh, that's amazing.
I used to bartend. We can get the gang back together.
I've done a lot of different things in my time.
That's amazing. Well, Michele, did you want to go ahead and ask a question?
Sure. So, Justin, what are your most and least favorite kitchen appliances or tools?
Ooh.
Oh.
That's a good one.
You know, I was kind of raised in this world by Alton Brown, but so, you know, he's kind of cornered the idea of hating on unitaskers. Things I'm trying to think of something that really drives me nuts. You know, for me, it's just like counter clutter type stuff. So like, you know, a quesadilla maker, you know, like I've seen that. And like, that's also known as a pan.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
We have air fryer too. Yes.
Well, I love air fryers. I actually helped design a couple of my second cookbook was all about air frying. And I don't love the marketing. If they would have called it turbo convection, I get that it doesn't sell the like health benefit, but turbo convection is what you're looking at there.
Okay.
Yeah, other than that, man, honest to God, I've gotten less and less elite in terms of cooking as I've gotten older. In terms of favorite, man, there's a spoon called a Kunz spoon, Kunz, named after a famous chef.
Okay.
Write that down.
Yeah, Gray Kunz was the chef, and I worked a block away from his legendary restaurant at one time. And that Kunz spoon is pretty remarkable. And it's, in my opinion, if I walked into somebody's house and, you know, they had a quesadilla maker and a Kunz spoon, I'd be like, I love this. Like, this is great. Like, I actually think they would be earning points at that moment. But like the Kunz spoon, to me, it's very expensive for a spoon, but there's something about it that is, I don't know, you know, it's like your favorite calligraphy pen or something. It's just a dumb spoon, but there's something about it, you know? And then other than that, man, like I just try and use the right tools for the job. And I really believe in having good tools. The other day I was doing a sushi pop-up, and you know, I was like, cool, I'm going to painstakingly like peel around and around and around the cucumber, you know, to make these very thin cucumber ribbons. And I was like, wait a minute, like I have the attachment for the stand mixer. I just stopped what I was doing and got the attachment for the stand mixer and just, you know, just shot right through it. So
that's incredible. That's incredible. Oh my God. Okay. That's so cool. A Kunz spoon. I put that out on my Christmas list. Okay. So for what I've noticed is a lot of fans of the show, they have like different groups that they kind of like convene in and they talk about the show. And I've noticed a lot of people want to start taking their own notes on the show. If there was like an advice for giving like the beginner chefs, like this is what you should focus on, you know, during a round, what would you say?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Gosh. Well, give yourself more time than they do on the you know, clock. You know, 30 minutes is that's insane. You know, like that is an insane skill set. You know, the fact that we as like chefs on TV are able to do that is not you know, I don't think that's necessarily an accurate reflection of what it is to be a chef. Like chefs in restaurants have 30 days to come up with, you know, a great dish. So it's a small but highly entertaining skill set. So give yourself time. I always say, like, if you're going to do something, fail quickly. You know what I mean? Like figure out that it's not going to work sooner rather than later. And then the other thing is don't beat a dead horse. You know, like if you've failed something, like don't try and jam it. You know, don't try and force it. Pivot. Move on, go somewhere else with it. You know, like I think a lot of frustration in anything that we could practice comes from force. And
Yeah.
You know, if you want to love cooking, man, don't do it for a living. You know, like,
I love
and
that. Sorry.
you know, like, I guess what I'm saying here is because, you know, when you're doing
Yeah.
it for a living, you're forced to
Yeah.
do it at that point. It's like it just takes a little bit of the joy and the finesse out of it. And I think anyone
Yeah.
would say that about any art. But that being said, you know, just be easy with it, man.
I love that. I love it. And then someone at T-Bones 1776 said, use the mandolin without the safeguard. Woo! That scares me. I'm not allowed to use a mandolin yet. Yet.
Yeah,
Yet.
I get it. Um, I don't know. Like, I
Yeah.
have mixed feelings about safety.
Yeah.
You know, and also like if you pour over Reddit, people are like, "Oh my God, they used the tasting spoon twice."
Yeah.
Like, I
You
love.
don't think they do that in regular kitchens? Come on. I mean, they probably do.
Exactly.
Well, what I'm getting at is that like
Yeah.
we're professionals, right? And like, yes, it's dangerous. Do I think home cooks should definitely use the safety? Absolutely, they should. If
Yeah.
they don't feel comfortable, or if they're scared, or if they're nervous, you
Yeah.
know. But like, dull knives are more dangerous than sharp
Yes.
ones, which
Mhm.
is a thing a lot of people don't know. And like, more people are injured by avocados than they are by mandolins. You know, like
Oh,
there's just a lot of stuff
You
out
miss that
there
shot to
that
lose a finger.
yeah, it's just like the more you know, the less you'll be afraid, right? And so
yeah.
generally when you see somebody using a mandolin without the guard, you know, or somebody who used liquid nitrogen, I'm answering Monkey
Yeah.
Hoovian's question,
Yeah. Thank
you
you.
know, without the gloves and goggles, you know, it's simply because they are very familiar with it. And like
Yeah.
something is, you know, a tool is only as dangerous as you let it be, right? Like the mandolin doesn't creep into your bedroom and get your fingers. You
Yeah.
put your fingers in the mandolin, you know, like,
That's a nightmare, man. But
Oh,
those
man.
are
It's
really
not that
great points.
scary, Allison. You just have to pay attention to what you're doing.
I will be
Right.
using one.
Curve your
I will.
fingers up.
You know what? I learned so
yeah.
much, and I think that's what I love. Again, with talking with these home chefs who've been doing it for years, I just love these little tips. And obviously, watching TOC, you get to watch the professionals in their own arena. It just feels it's amazing. So new home cooks like me learn a lot. So I appreciate that. Matt, did you have a question?
I just gotta say real quick, with the whole fail quick thing,
Yeah.
it is amazing how much that crossover, because I'm a medicinal chemist. I work on designing like compounds as drugs and things to help
Yeah.
stop bacteria. And the first rule of medicinal chemistry is fail fast, fail cheap.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get, 17 steps down the line and find out it's going to fail. Like you want to get in. And if you're going to fail, fail fast. And also to the
Yeah.
liquid nitrogen thing, I will say I work with liquid nitrogen almost on a weekly basis at work. I don't wear gloves either.
Does your
Right,
wife
like-
know?
She does, actually. I said, hey, it was kind of dripping. She goes, how do you know it was dripping liquid nitrogen? I said, stuck my hand under it and it was cold.
Yeah.
Just dripping liquid nitrogen right onto my hand. Like, it didn't feel good. But
Right.
I knew what it was.
I haven't
Right.
used liquid nitrogen yet.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
we
Believe
use
it
it for
is.
more industrial purposes, less the cooking purposes. But we do freeze marshmallows for kids, and that's a lot of fun.
That is
We-
fun.
We took a poll of what's better, a regular marshmallow or a liquid nitrogen marshmallow, and
Which one won?
resoundingly like a 5-to-1 ratio of like 100 kids
Yeah.
was freeze dried marshmallows were better.
There you go. The more
It
you know.
was a wreck. One kid kept coming back to check the poll, and I felt so bad. It's
Is
like
it-
regular marshmallows are better. I'm like, I'm sorry, buddy, you're losing this by double-digit margins. But
Well, also when they're cold, they give you that dragon breath effect, right?
exactly, and they're crunchy too. It's
Yeah.
oh, the kids loved it. But I gotta ask Justin, because one thing that I've always noticed with your cooking is that you like to tinker with like molecular gastronomy and bringing in the weird things. What is one ingredient you'd love to see on the randomizer?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh man.
Like something off the wall. Like Allison's is gooey duck for some reason.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
no,
wanna
I'm
see it.
about the gooey duck. I think that'd be
Right.
great TV. I think we had that on like a standby list.
Okay.
For one of the later rounds. I don't know, man. Less and less am I freaked out, or less and less do I think that protein is the, like, I've seen a lot of pretty intense cooking in my life, and I've seen a lot of, big creatures, big and small, right? But where I think I really get giddy is in the world of produce. And so you remember the cacao pods, how that just screwed everybody up. The bitter melon, when that screwed everybody up. I've been trying to figure out how to get some like super hyper seasonal things. So like, I'm from Appalachia, the TV will tell me, the armchair Appalachians. But like pawpaws, have you ever heard of pawpaws? Mm-hmm. Pawpaws is like weird, it's like a weird seasonal fruit. It's like the mango of the mid-Atlantic, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
That's pretty accurate.
Yeah, just stuff like that. Just obscure produce that throws people for a loop. I also think we could get, it's interesting when we say protein, everybody is kind of expecting like hunk of meat or fish, but I traffic in the world of cheese. Like, I think you could get some really wild, bonkers cheeses on there. And I like, then that's the beauty of the randomizer is like, you've got like some, Vacherin Montour funky cheese imported from France, and then you've got bitter melon, and then a style is like, date night, right? Like, that's
great if you got
stuff.
cheese. Allison loves cheese, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan too.
Okay, here's the thing.
Does not like cheese.
So here's my problem.
Okay.
Really quickly, Chef. Chef Ann Burrell, always thought that was so interesting because I literally was afraid of cheese going on the show. And it's something that I'm starting to really learn. I'm starting to do more research. I'm starting to test. So I'm very excited about cheese. It's a process. I have a new question for you in a second because of that. Actually, can I ask you really fast? Is there a food that you don't like?
No, I just don't like bad technique and disrespect. That's pretty simple. Like, there's really no food I've ever had. There are definitely things I would prefer more than others, and like, some of the subsistence crops that are grown throughout the world, there's a reason they're subsistence crops. But, in general, it's just like, I like context. I don't know. That's pretty much it, I guess.
Okay, Michele, would you like to ask a question?
Okay, so after the battles, we know that they wheel away the pretty one for the the photo session. What happens with the leftover food after each round?
Oh, that's a good question.
Well, it depends. So as the seasons have evolved, Guy has become mighty generous with the audience, and so if anyone is military vet, first responder, etc., if there's like stuff left over in the pan, Guy will like compose like a micro dish. And hand those out. We are now encouraged by Guy to taste along the way and, get some pan drippings now and then. Just so, we're making sure that our words line up, and that there's not any surprise, right? Like, I do my absolute best to keep an absolute track of everything that's going on, but especially in the holiday edition where you're keeping track of two chefs, like, you can turn your back and like miss something crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's that for the cooked food. Also, producers go after it. They descend, like vultures.
Oh, like vultures.
Yeah, from their control room. That's like, oh my god, I got to get in on that. And then other than that, so that takes care of the cooked food. In terms of food that's like on the shelves, it just gets refreshed, or if something's like half used. Say like a can of something, it'll probably get put into a like deli container and then either reused in a subsequent round, or it'll be put like, to family meal, or ultimately nothing gets wasted. It all goes to a local food bank, at the end of the day. So, like at the end of the season, they're getting like, because we have to have all the stuff that's on the randomizer and stuff to back it up. So when you see that finale and you've seen all those crazy proteins and only one gets picked, well, we're going to have a real big party in the back. And then after that, it all goes to the food bank.
That was a great question, Michele. And I'm sorry, I missed canned vegetarian haggis. I think haggis was one, was it? Am I mistaken? Didn't we have haggis one year?
Canned vegetarian haggis was on an episode of Grocery Games that I think I tied. It was a vegetarian episode, and I got saddled with easily the scariest can, which was that. But ultimately, like, how bad could it be, right? It's only made of plants, right? So, like, you know what I mean? It was really just like, I don't know, goopy oatmeal, basically.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then Chef Ava was one of the people that got to be honest, or in the audience. Excuse me. That's amazing.
I tried.
We all would love to be there.
I had tickets over the end of the summer, and I was 6 people away from getting in because my train got me there an hour late.
Oh, don't you hate that?
I'm so sorry.
Wait,
I always hope for the next round. So.
Wait, and you know what is so amazing is that you actually do. I mean, like home chefs, like people that work in the restaurant industry. Like, there's some people who actually get to see this live. I think that's incredible. Like, I think it's so cool. Okay, sorry.
It is a cool experience. I've had friends in the audience, and you know, friends of mine that know the work that I do and know me. That to me is like, is this cool or not? You know, I don't know, because it's my job, right? And like, I'll see some magic, you know, but the more I do that job, and just like the more you do everything, right, the more familiar it becomes. So it really takes a lot to like get me going, like to see a technique and be like, whoa, this is cool. But for them, you know, they were like, no, this is incredible. And like how fast you guys turn the set around, and like hearing the unfiltered judges' comments. And, you know, the judges can take 5, 6, 8, 10 minutes to talk about whatever they're talking about, which I'm sure, you know, as a victim of reality television. And then it gets cut down in in 8 seconds. Right. So,
I've never been scared in my life, I will tell you that much.
Right. And I think back in the day, man, they probably had you standing there waiting and waiting and waiting, getting the reaction shots, you know, of people going, oh my God. Yeah.
It was incredible. It was incredible. And even the fact that they ate my food, that was incredible. But okay, this is a real question, and I'm very excited to ask this. So I'm hella competitive, and there are 2 people that I would challenge, would be, you know, obviously Michele, obviously Bucko, who are incredible chefs. Okay, but I have to ask, I think you're pretty hella competitive too. Okay, if there was somebody that you could challenge to a battle, and you're allowed to say, who would it be? And if you were able to kind of like fix the randomizer to have certain things come up, what would you choose for protein, produce, and equipment? If you can't answer, we could totally.
He's got that mischievous grin on his face, so you know it's going to be good.
Well, I think it's always good TV when I battled Marcel Vigneron. I love that guy, and you know, he and I have kind of been, you know, through the reality TV fates, you know, put head to head on occasion. But he's the kind of guy that I would love to just, you know, it's like, you know, it's always going to be entertaining, right? And it's always going to be similar but different, and that's what I like. And I think I would have a fighting chance as well. I think either of the Voltaggio brothers as well. I admire their style of cooking, both of them. And I look at the 2 of them, and they're kind of like my left and right brain, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't think I would win against either of them, but I think it would be fun to cook against either of them. In terms of things I like to cook, man, I love eggs. I love cooking eggs. I love cooking anything that is tough, you know, so chuck, you know, I love braising stuff. I don't know what it is. And yes, I own a ramen shop, but I'm kind of like in the soup and sauce phase of my life. So I'd probably make something wet. In terms of produce, I don't know. I love produce so much, just in so many ways, and I just love manipulating produce almost more than I do protein. I actually think produce lends itself better to manipulation than protein, because like there's only so much you can put on a steak or do to a steak before you've done it a disservice, right? But like asparagus, for example, you know, raw, pickled, grilled, and then pickled, shaved, pureed, cream of, you know, like fried, battered, whole 9 yards, you know. And so like that to me is attractive. I don't know, let's just say asparagus, just because I said that. Like, I do love corn though, and I also love the various formats that are corn. So
Yeah.
masa, for example, nixtamalized corn, standard cornmeal. I love those like big what are they called, man? Those big Peruvian corn things. I like corn nuts.
I don't know. I'm not familiar with those. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like I love wheat lacoche, which is like
Okay.
corn fungus.
Got the funky.
That's really big in San Antonio. Like that's huge,
Yeah.
huge here. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a delicacy. Wheat lacoche rules. Like, I think that's a very, very good ingredient. And like,
Get weird with it.
yeah, I just feel like there's certain things that are, to quote, I think Ben Franklin, proof that somebody loves us, and wheat lacoche is one of them. Like, I love when ugly, weird things are truly delicious. Like that's just the poetry of cooking. To me.
Oh, I love that. And then is there an equipment? Like I know that I am really good at, X equipment. That's I could take them down.
Yeah,
And hopefully
microwave.
it's the salamander because that's like my new favorite one.
Oh yeah, no, microwave, air fryer.
Yeah. Okay.
Really, there's nothing that I've seen in the TOC arena that has ever given me the shakes, or
Okay.
because I'm a gear guy. I like gear stuff, and I believe in like, oh, what would be a really fun one that I would mess with, an espresso machine, a commercial espresso machine.
Ooh.
I have one in my ramen shop that we use, you guessed it, for espresso for ourselves because we don't serve espresso and I never will. I'm very like coffee phobic in terms of things that I want to serve. But we use it as an instantaneous hot water source. Okay. So like when we need to steam edamame, for example, like why would we start with room temp water when I can have under pressure, scalding hot, boiling ass water, right? So we do that, but also occasionally I'll use that frother wand if somebody needs a soup like not in our ecosystem, right? Like there is no chance that it is contacting a mushroom or something like that. I'll warm up that soup and steam it up in there in 52 seconds versus the 4 minutes it's going to take to microwave a quart.
I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Okay.
Yeah, well,
that's really clever.
I've never done it either, but I'd love to, shove other stuff in the actual espresso basket. The place where you put the. But the problem is it's my espresso machine, so I don't want to take the chance of like ruining it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But there has to be something there, right? Like coffee is, you store it like a spice, you treat it like a spice. Coffee is simply just an infusion in water, right? So like, why shouldn't I do that with cumin and brew hyper extracted cumin?
Yeah.
Oh, now you get
so much. That's awesome.
There's journals in chemistry dedicated to like isolating the components, and of all things, cumin was actually one of the focuses of this year's ACS National Chemistry Week of what components make cumin.
Yeah, man, I like all that stuff. I think that's kind of the final frontier of cooking is, it's not using xanthan gum or methyl cellulose, but it's like, to me, it's understanding the various olfactory, phenolic, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
The various compounds that make stuff up. So like, vanilla, the bean, is not like you can get vanilla in whiskey or in wine, and there was never a vanilla bean anywhere near it. But the compound in vanilla that makes vanilla taste like vanilla is present. I always say it's like, Lego bricks, like the standard. In your mind, when I say Lego brick, you have a piece in your mind, right? Like you can combine that with a ton of other pieces and make 100 different things, and smells and flavors and the compounds that produce those smells and flavors are like little Lego bricks. So like this dude, Heston Blumenthal, chef, and then a perfumer out of France came up with this thing called the Volatile Compounds in Food Database. And so you can type one ingredient in, chocolate, and see all of the other things that share the Lego brick with it. So like roasted cauliflower and chocolate are made out of the same Lego brick.
Mm-hmm.
Cool stuff,
That is really cool. That's really cool. Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Okay, Matt, did you have a question? That's so cool. Sorry.
So, I got kind of a silly one here, Justin, because every time we see you on any show, I will say, for context, I've had to grow my hair out for the last year and change for a play. We're doing Little Shop of Horrors in June.
Cool.
But You always have like the perfect coif. What's the secret to that?
I think I just got decent genetics. The more I think about it, I don't know. There was like a radioactive spider. Like I had bad hair until I was 20 years old. And then I went to a Turkish hairstylist and he said, "Why do you wear your hair down?" I'm like, "What do you mean down? Like I'm a dude. I wear my hair, you know?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, your hair needs to go up. Your hair needs to go up."
Oh.
And if you look, like my hair wants to go up. It grows up. It doesn't grow down or any other way. I have terrible cowlicks. And so he's like, you need to like embrace those cowlicks and do it. And so like this is just what I didn't do anything. I hopped out of the shower, put a hat on. And then also having a hair and makeup team, let me tell you, like
That's fair.
And they like fiddling around, like I think men's hair can be very boring. Especially like, you go to a barber and they're like 3 on top, 2 in the back, like when your haircut can be quantified, like, or qualified even by a number, you know what I'm saying? Like, could you imagine if you went into like a high end salon and you were like, yeah, give me the 3-2 special, like that defeats the like artistry of it, and like, I don't know, hair's just moving, growing sculpture, really.
Yeah.
You got to look at the
great
medium.
hair. That's the thing. You got great hair every time we see you. It's like it's just like I said. I used to be a guy with 3 on the sides, scissors on top, kind of thing. But now that I'm growing it, everyone's like, "Your hair is curly." I'm like, I didn't know that.
Yeah, cool, right? I don't know,
and
man.
That too. That's a great call. No, that's amazing. Michele, did you have any other questions? And by the way, if you guys are watching at home, please ask questions. Hopefully,
yeah.
So
no spoilers.
You
No
just
spoilers.
came out with a beer, right?
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, I did come out with a beer. Yeah, it's incredible. It's called
My
Kuma
husband's a
and
home
Ushi.
brewer, so.
Wait, Michele, did you try it already?
No, I have not. I would like to. I'm not quite in his time zone, but I mean, my husband's
Yeah,
a
it's
home
only
brewer,
sold in
so
the
it's
state
always
of
interesting.
sold in the state of South Dakota, but it's a Japanese style rice lager called Kuma and Ushi. Kuma is bear, Ushi is bovine, and so that's our mascot at our restaurant. It's kind of like an atomic kaiju cow. So somewhere between like Godzilla and a cow, we call him Kaiju. But the bear is the logo of one of our favorite local breweries, Lost Cabin. And so, we brewed a beer with green tea, jasmine, and believe it or not, ramen noodles. And it slaps. It's 5.5%. It is incredibly delicious. It makes an incredible beer mosa. Something about the jasmine and orange juice is just like a delightfully like blossomy, sunshiny sort of flavor. And then it also like it just slaps. It just I don't know how to better say it. It goes down easy. It's like I find that I gravitate towards beer that I don't want or crave food with, and also that allows me to think a little, but not too much. Like I don't want a beer that's going to keep me up at night thinking about its complexity.
Yeah.
There's a time and a place for it. Don't get me wrong. And if you're buying, I'll absolutely drink them. But like spending time in Japan, for example, where there's really not a ton of like if you find an IPA, like congratulations. Same in Mexico. I've spent time there. Like they treat beer as like a refreshment, not as a, how do I explain it? It's not like as much of a vice as it is here. It's like beer is kind of necessary. It's like 98 degrees in a Tokyo alley and you walk up to a vending machine. Like, I think it's your right and duty almost to have a beer at that point. As long as you don't walk and drink it, because that's very rude. But anyway, I think you get what I'm saying here. Like I love a good IPA or a good porter, especially like in winter and fall or something like that. But for like the everyday, like, oh man, it's like lunch, and I just had a spicy sandwich. Oh, like give me a good poundable beer, and this is definitely one of them with just enough.
Can you say it again one more
there.
time? Can you say the name again?
Kuma and Ushi.
Oh, I think someone had a cat named Kuma. That's so cool. Oh
yeah,
my God.
bear. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, well, I have just like kind of a random question.
Sure.
So one of the things that we've noticed is, you obviously are growing, like you know these chefs, like you've grown, not grown up with them, but I mean you've known them over the years, and we can only imagine how hard it is, like watching your friends compete and watching your friends go home. And something that I think you touched on in a live you did, I believe it was Teos. It wasn't the one with the two people. It wasn't with the teams. It was the one before, but it was
Mm.
saying like how hard it is to see like your friends and these competitors like go through this entire process and then have to go home. Do you feel like you're kind of like maybe kind of like a therapist in a way, like, or is it just kind of that's the way cooking is, you got to roll with the punches?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Very few chefs,
yeah,
and I'm not going to name any names, but very
yeah,
few chefs ever consider me or seek me out as for advice or as an
okay,
asset. And I think that's like a very chef tendency,
that
right?
thing,
Is like
okay,
I go my way,
yeah.
and like asking for help in this industry still is like kind of like I don't know,
Is it
awk.
like a taboo thing? I don't know. Yeah,
It's like for some reason the industry, and I don't measure it this way anymore, and I try
yeah,
and raise my staff to not feel this way, but like restaurant cooks like love being in the weeds, love getting their asses kicked, like love when it almost is out of control. And I'm like,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
I get how that might have been a thrill, when I was younger,
yeah,
but in general, like, uh, the sweat lord approach to cooking is not generally conducive to creative thinking or
yeah,
to positive vibes, right?
yeah,
So anyway, a couple people have reached
yeah,
out to me and said like, "Hey, tips, tricks, advice, so on and so forth," and
yeah.
I happily will share, during the off season. I do
Sure.
think I should start a dojo and charge, um, just because like I can see the
Yeah.
wheels coming off before they come off.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize this, but there's always someone listening to the microphone that I have,
Yeah.
and so I'm actually able now to direct a little bit the cameras of what they should
Okay.
get, where they want to be, and so I'll be like, "Hey, you guys want to watch some pine nuts burn? Cool, get a camera on that pan right there in 3, 2, 1." Like
It makes sense because you're in the action. I mean, you're literally right there as they're cooking. So that makes
yeah, and
total
like
sense.
the production team is incredible, right? And they
Yeah.
they know those things too. But when they're staring at 15 cameras of monitors, there's only so much that the brain can track. And so like I don't know. I try and console people
Yeah.
because we all see each other at the hotel afterwards, which is
Yeah.
something that I would prefer doesn't happen just because it can be a little awkward.
Oh,
But
yeah.
in general, like TOC, man, you don't become a chef of that caliber by being a sore loser.
Yeah.
You
True.
don't you
Yeah.
don't be you don't make it to that level or hang out with these dogs if like you're a blamer,
Yeah.
and like I think that's kind of I'm not saying that's the key to success in a lot of things, but maybe that
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
just like understanding when you've made a mistake and like being okay with that. That's to me, I think, very important. And like, you know, I shit the bed on Triple G all the time, but I still get invited back. Like it's never so bad where they're like, this guy can't cook. It's just,
Yeah.
you overreach or you
Yeah.
stretch too far, you try and do too much. And like, let's be honest,
Yeah.
it is completely unrealistic to think that anyone can cook anything of quality in 30 minutes. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I think of it as more being like,
Yeah.
I'm like their lawyer, like that's it. And like, I try
That
to,
makes sense though. That really does. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
that
I,
tracks.
I try to defend them when necessary. I try to never point out, any guilt. Like we don't admit to any guilt or fault.
Yeah.
And then other than that, like just try and be like a positive force in their lives and not try and get in their heads or freak them out or anything like that. Cause
Sure.
they're going through every time you have to cook
Yeah.
has the potential to be one of the best days of your life or the worst days of your life, right?
Sure.
And so like I just
Yeah.
don't want to, I don't want to be the thing that they're fixated on or gravitating towards. And it's
Yeah.
happened in the past where somebody's like, "Oh, Warner didn't do this and I would have won." And that chef, we don't see
Probably
them
wasn't
anymore.
competing anymore. Well, and while you guys are thinking of questions, if you Matt, did you have one?
No, I was just reacting to, oh
I do.
my.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
Somebody,
it's
somebody throwing poor Chef Justin here under the bus. I mean, geez.
Yeah, Guy
those
doesn't
naughty
stand for
people.
that. Guy doesn't
I
stand
can
for that.
imagine.
And so,
He definitely seems like he has that vibe of protecting himself and his people.
yeah, and he's, I think people will like, they see the relationship Guy and I have, and like it's definitely that of like older brother, little brother, right?
Yeah.
But also, if you look at Guy, like Guy does well with foils, right? He's this bombastic, enormous, lovable personality. So, when I give some like nerdy deadpan thing, that's, not, when I show up in like an Izetta, I'm dating myself. Like when I show up in like a Japanese mini truck, versus his, like Ford F950, you know what I mean? Like that's the humor, that's the draw, that's why we work well together. And so Guy rewards loyalty, and Guy is fiercely, fiercely loyal. I don't think it made the cut, but one time a judge, man, I forget what they said. Oh man, it was like,
Yeah, that's true.
it doesn't matter. But somebody made like a gentle crack at Guy's blonde hair, and I forget what it was, but I said something, and it was like lightning, where I just attacked that judge. Like I just attacked him, like with words. Oh yeah, somebody said, "Oh, Guy, something about the hair," and Guy was like, "Excuse me," and the judge was like, "Oh, it's a layup," and I was like, "You're laid off," and Guy was like, "That's right. Somebody comes after me, Warner, like go for the throat." I was like, obviously, we're all having fun, right? But I owe my career to Guy. Like he picked me up, put me on Grocery Games, and then gave me the role on TOC. Which like it's changed my life in so many ways, and also like it's really fun to love what you do. And like I tell Guy all the time, man, if you get a residency in Vegas and we do this live 9 to 5 every single day, I will absolutely do it in a heartbeat. I would relocate. I would move to Vegas,
Well, if you need an awkward female food anthropologist, I'm game.
Yeah, she studies food anthropology.
I'm graduating with an anthropology degree with emphasis in food this spring.
Wow,
incredible!
Sweet.
We love it.
So I'm game. I'm game for some silliness.
All right.
Well, that's amazing. And then Michele, did you have any other questions? Because I have one last one.
I have one after rewatching not yesterday's but the week before. Corn silk. Can you
corn silk.
deep fry corn silk and eat it?
Hey, this is like always comes out as a flippant answer, but you can fry a TV and eat it too if you try. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I just because they used noodles. As for the base, and I think it was Ken said he wished they'd used the corn silk.
I famously made a taco with as many ways of corn as I possibly could, and I think I crammed 9 versions of corn into a taco. Hence my love of corn. But yeah, like I think silk when fried, it kind of needs to be fried because there's something too hair-like about its natural texture. But yeah, when like toasted or fried, I put it in a taco, and the thing is, like, is everybody going to love this? Probably not. Are certain people going to say like, this is a cool utilization and it's not detracting, from the experience of the dish? Okay. But I truly believe that is like everything is edible if you try, right? Like, will it be palatable? I don't know, and that's also very like subjective, right? But like, I'm very, I don't know what it is about me, and also really like not having favorites when it comes to food, and also not having dislikes, and like food is really not my drug. Like I like analyzing it, I like cooking it, I definitely like eating it, I definitely like talking about it, but it's never been like a thing where I'm like compulsive about like I must, So I guess what I'm getting at here is that like I think about things that are not edible as well, and like I'm fascinated by people with pica, where they'll like consume things that we typically see as inedible, but also like there are recipes that involve eating clay. I forget the name of that clay, but you can like wrap potatoes in clay and just eat the dang clay, no big deal. And also like when I think about salt, salt's a damn rock, right? And like we like grind up this rock and eat it, like.
Yeah.
So I'm always trying to find ways to kind of push the ideas and the boundaries of like, is that edible? When I was doing the sushi pop up, I fried up the shrimp tails for people and said, "Hey, you guys ever eat the shrimp tails?" They're like, "What?" Well, yeah, like if you fry it, it's just kind of like a fish, like a shrimp popcorn. And they're like, "Whoa, it is a shrimp popcorn." And I'm like, brings new meaning to popcorn shrimp, right? And so like all of these people, it was like eight people that had never had that in their life because they were told, well, that's not edible. Well, nobody tried hard enough,
Yeah.
I got to ask real quick, just as a follow-up to that, for the TV, do you think like a tempura batter or like a standard wet and dry station? What would you put on a TV to fry it? I mean, asking for a friend, obviously.
The people need to know, Justin. The people need to know.
Well, the first thing I'd think that you would want is a bandsaw. And like, I've actually studied people that, like eat glass and eat TVs and like eat shopping carts and stuff. And the idea is that you have to do all of that very, very small, right? Like, because you have to be able to pass it and it has to also not be sharp, right? So I'd say bandsaw. And then when I think about, all of the various components in there, you're probably going to want like a healthy amount of fat. And I think about like the metallic, like there are metallic flavors, right? Like I eat a lot of canned fish, tinned fish, and I think tinned fish and wine is a great way to experience minerality, because we don't talk about like the idea that, when you drink mineral water, guess what? You're eating dissolved rocks, and so different mineral waters have different flavors because they have different dissolved rocks in them. So anyway, fish to me is a great way to taste minerality. Beef, I think, is a great way to understand the flavor of iron, right? Which is in blood and in sanguine, to quote your shirt, things.
Yeah, it's a show on YouTube. You should check it out.
Oh,
all right,
fun.
sweet. Yeah,
I'm a cast member on it.
So yeah, cool. not to get too crazy about it, but metallic flavors love fat, specifically grassy fat. So I think olive oil is a great foil to that. To eating a TV.
I'm concerned with how much thought you've given to eating a TV.
I love
that was
It.
instantaneous.
That's a
that was like on the nose.
I think this,
you the minerality.
Like, when you think about food so much, like, how do you subvert it? Well, the first way is not food, right? And that's why I kind of like ugly things as well, because there's so much emphasis put on things being beautiful and pretty. And I'm like, Huitlacoche, God, I love you. Like
it's everywhere. And
Huitlacoche, paid the man.
Yeah. Okay. I have one last question for you. And this is, I think, something we all want to know. So obviously TOC has gone from, I think it was 16 in the first round, East versus West. I mean, we've seen it evolve so much. We've seen teams now. We've seen so much. If you could have a magic crystal ball and say, this is where I hope TOC is in 10 years. Is there a certain direction you hope it goes? Or is there something you'd like to see the show try?
That's a good question. Live is definitely where I would want to go, because I know that the framework is there and that it could be done, but it would be quite an undertaking. But watching those matches live, like an actual sports game, and it would also require me to step up my game a lot. But I love, because I've done red carpets for Marvel that are live, and I just love the newscaster style of Warner, we're coming to you in 3, 2, and right here we are in Chef So-and-so's kitchen, and what they've got right now is blah, 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 blah. Cool. And then somebody's saying, stretch it. And then I'm like, okay, well, another thing that's going on is this, and this. Chef, how are you feeling? Okay, well, now that we've got that, we're going to go back up to the Wayfair screening room where we have 2 chefs who are spectating tonight's battle. The winner of those will face the winner of this in the following round. Great. Now we're going live to them, and I don't know, that
incredible. Yeah.
The adrenaline of things actually being live is, now that's a drug to me, right? I just enjoy I enjoy the precision and also the speed. To do something accurately yet quickly, to me, anything is that's fun, man. That's how you know how to use a mandolin, right? Is you can do it accurately yet quickly, right? And I don't know, that just seems really fun. And I think one thing though that's difficult is a lot of cooking though can be slow paced, even in the 30 minutes, you know.
Mhm.
Sometimes you just are waiting 3 minutes for something to fry. And when that's done, you'll put it on the plate, and there's not a whole lot of hubbub about it. So I think we would have to maybe come up with some like interstitial packages, which I think would be great. Where it's like, cool, now that Chef so-and-so has done this, let's cut to a package that explains, you know, the history of the cacao pod and, you know, so on and so forth. And that it was, not to get your cultural anthropology blood going, but, you know, it was currency, you know, and all of this stuff. I just think that would be really cool. Gordon Ramsay had a show called The F Word that nobody knows about, where they would do that kind of thing.
Well, that's you know about it. That's so cool.
I'm one of like the only people apparently who watched that show.
I know about it.
Yeah, well, it's because it was really good, right? And it was very informative. And it was not a lot of like high drama type stuff, right? So you can imagine why it didn't make its way across the pond.
Oh my God. Well, do you guys have anything else you'd like to say to Justin? I mean, we're so thankful that you came on here. Like, this is such an honor.
Thank you.
Yeah. Michele, did you have anything?
No, I'm just a little verklempt still, but that's okay.
Verklempt, that's a good word.
Well, Chef, we are so excited. I can't wait to cheer you on the rest of the season of TOC. Thank you so much for being here. We're just honored, man. We're honored.
Yeah,
like
truly.
Well, thanks, guys. I'm honored you'd think of me. And I love what y'all are doing. Thanks for supporting the show, and thanks for thinking about it. You know, if we made a show and people just watched it and then didn't think about it, I'd be kind of disappointed, right? Like, that's not the food I want to make. That's not the TV I want to make. You know, interesting food for interested people, I like to say. So thanks for being interested.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you. We're going to cut it off here just because I am so scared I'm going to screw this up and not be able to say this. But I'm so thankful, guys. Everyone, peace out. And we'll see you guys in a little bit. Bye, guys. Thank you so much again.